up, people? So this is gonna be my review of the 2017 Nissan Versa. Now the one I have in this video is gonna be the base model, very base model. And you know, I'll tell you guys everything that I thought is important about the car. Anyway, I was originally looking for a Lexus, right? But I can't afford it. I went to the dealer, they said the price was this much, and I said I can't afford that. You know, I don't want to have a big ass car payment and things of that nature, right? So I was like, you know what? If I can have the car that I want, then I would go the cheapest way, you know, and save my money so I can actually afford the car that I want. You know, I was actually looking for an IS or a 350. I didn't want to buy a used one. I don't know, it's just something but used one, even though, you know, at times you got good deals out there. I didn't want to buy a used one. But anyhow, so I went, and next door was a Nissan dealer. So I went over there and test drove a couple cars, and I talked to the salesperson, which I don't believe none of those motherfuckers anyways. So I did the research for myself and went around. I spent a couple of hours in a car dealer and see what my best options are based on my needs. Now the car that I'm trading in is my Toyota Tacoma Sport Package. You know, it's a fun car, nice, no problems to it. I only put like 10,000 miles in 2 years. You know, I bought it brand new. Now I said, you know what, I got bored with it, and just like anybody else, right, every 2 years we trade in our cars. So that's what I did. So I was like, you know what do I really need? You know, I commute maybe 10 miles to work every day, 5 days a week, just like everybody else. And so does my wife. My wife also has a Toyota. She has a Corolla. And like I said, me, I have a Tacoma. So I was like, you know what? I think it's 2 years. You know, it's time to have fun. Because, you know, sometimes you get bored and all you really do is work. So I want to have a little fun on the road. My little 10 miles on the road, right? And if I could have a BMW M3 and you know, not have a headache about it, and I would. In the previous, I've owned an Audi, I've owned a BMW, it was 328, and I've also owned a C300 Mercedes, which all of them I had to trade in due to the expensive maintenance and headaches, you know. And keep note that all of those cars that I bought, they were all used, and they had 50,000 miles or less. And I didn't, you know, like I said, that's why in the past 5-6 years I started buying new cars. Now I went to the Nissan dealer and I said, you know what is your cheapest car in the lot that has at least a 4-door, because you know I have kids, and you know, I'm not necessarily looking for horsepower. I care less about that. I commute 10 miles. It doesn't necessarily, you know, beneficial to me to have a fucking car that has 600 horsepower. You know what I mean? I don't need it. It could have a fucking 100 horsepower and not be fine, as long as it's fun to drive, right? So they said, well, so we have a Nissan Versa. I said, okay, do you have those in standard transmission, you know, manual? I said, yes, we do. I said, okay, let me test drive one of them. So I got this one. This is a blue metallic color. I don't even care about the color. I just want something that's reliable, go from point A to point B, go to work, have fun, kids, you know, large enough trunk space for the kids' shit to put in, and you know, and to go around. So I test drove one of these, and boy, I was surprised. Sorry, spinning the camera. Boy, this is a fun car. This is a fun car. It's not a luxury car, so don't expect none of the bells and whistles that you would find on a Lexus or a BMW or Mercedes. You could upgrade it if you want, you know. Nissan Versa has a lot of trims, S Plus model, SV, SR, and SL. All of those get different trims and different leathers and, you know, things in that, just like any other car, right? You have options. But sorry, I'm shifting here and I'm videotaping this with my phone. So matter of fact, I'm driving this, right? So I was like, I test drove it, and boy, I was surprised. I was like, this is a fun car to drive. I could actually use all 109 horsepower of this thing, you know, to work. You know, I don't have to worry about having a 500 horsepower car and you know, only commute to work 10 miles. And what the fuck, man? I can't have a V8 going to work and spending that much money. This one takes gas, average about fucking 31 miles per gallon, 31 I think on the street, and 40 on the highway, some dumb shit like that. And I was like, that is a great gas. So I had it for 2 days now, and I've been driving this because, like I said, it's a fun car to drive as long as you don't expect a lot. You know, I don't have this base model. It's not a power window. I gives two shits about that. I don't care about that. I rarely fucking pull down the windows anyways. Hell, the AC is cold. It has, you know, hands-free Bluetooth. It has a CD player. I mean, you got all the functions that you can find in a luxury car. They're just not that. They're not name brands. You know what I'm saying? But they work fine. It has right here. You can see a phone charger right there. Consoles. It doesn't really have a armrest. I give two shits about that. When you have a manual, you know, your right hand is always going to be on the damn stick shift anyways. But you know, and I saw on YouTube, and I was like, you know what are people saying about this? Is a 2017, by the way, Nissan Versa. And then I saw people saying that, you know, the shift is rubbery. Bullshit, man. This shit is a fun car to drive. You know, the only thing that I would change on this, because it performs well, and I've had this fucker to 120 anyways, 120 miles already per hour, and I've been driving this, you know, and see if I really wanted it. You know, I bought it from the dealer. I didn't trade it in my truck yet, but I said, you know, let me live with it for a couple days and make my decision. Tomorrow actually is my decision time. So anyways, guys, yes, here you go. I just picked up my kids, and look how comfortable they are. My kids is hiding. Look how comfortable they are in the back seat of a Nissan Versa base model. Are you serious? This thing is a good car. You know, it's like a multi-use type of car that you can have fun with it, and you can also use it for family. And no questions about that. What the hell? My kids right there. Anyway, okay, we'll do a test drive for this one. I'll try to rev it for you guys, and I'll try to see what it does in the highway, and you guys can see it. Okay. Alright guys, so Nissan Versa, you can test drive it. This is the base model, 5-speed, and like I said, this is quite responsive car. It's peppy, as they say. Like I said, you can't afford the car that you want, and that's what in my situation I said, you know what, I can't afford the expensive car that I want. Save my money and buy a cheap car that is still fun to drive. You know, my kids actually says, you know, Dad, this is a very comfortable seat, because the back seat is huge. You know, it's really huge. It's like a full size sedan type. You know, it's roomy. It's comfortable. The seats are. They're not the most expensive material, but they are comfortable. They really are. So you ought to change one of these. I mean, you ought to check out one of these and check them out and test drive. You know, and right now we're in third gear. You know, I'm coming from school. No problems, no issues there. Gas mileage is good gas mileage. You probably average about 32, 33, somewhere around there. You know, with the automatic one that my wife has, she probably get about 34, you know, somewhere around there. No matter how much you drive it, no matter how you drive it. But if you're looking for some of the enthusiasts out there like myself that likes a manual transmission, it's a fun car to drive, inexpensive, and you know, it doesn't seem like you're going to work and you're bored. You know, because I know some of you guys like myself, you know, you like to have fun on the road, that little 10-mile stretch that you go to work with. You know, you want to have fun, and all we do is work. We don't have any fun at all. Especially for, like I said, the enthusiasts out there. You ought to get you a manual transmission, and you will be very surprised. I was very surprised about this car. This car has 109 horsepower, but it feels much more than that. It does feel much more than that. And like I said earlier, if I were to change some of the stuff in this car, not too much, but I would get a wider tire, you know, 17-inch wheels, probably alloy. This car would perform a lot better. Maybe an exhaust, you know, not too big and noisy of exhaust, just something that would, you know, fulfill your needs as an enthusiast, your wanting as an enthusiast driver. I would change that, but other than that, man, I mean, if you want to change the radio, you can, but I'm not gonna change it. The radio sounds nice, you know, you can hear it. It's fine with me. The AC is cold, heater works. You know, you got all the amenities that you can find in a luxury car, just not name brand. Like I said, I'm gonna take it on the freeway here in a little bit. We're going to Jack in the Box. Today's Friday. My kids, they want to eat something, and you know, I usually do this with my kids on the Fridays, and let them treat them to a restaurant. My son is the one that's holding camera right now, so But yeah, here you go. That's road noise. Man, forget about all this talk and bullshit about it's noisy. It's not fast, or it's uncomfortable. Bullshit. None of those are untrue. Very not true. And this car, like I said, it surprised me. It's comfortable. Trust me when I say that. I've owned a lot of cars. I've owned from European cars all the way to Japanese cars, and I would pick this. If I was comparing it, which is incomparable to some people, but I would compare it. If I was to compare this with a Toyota Corolla, I would actually pick this. And I've had Toyota Corollas for a while. You know, my wife had. You know, we've had Toyotas for a long time. The reliability of the Toyota is, you know, unmatched. You know, and we all know that Hondas and Toyotas, the reliability is just. There's a Honda Accord that just passed by. Those things cost $10,000 more than this, maybe $15,000 more. There's a Nissan Sentra right there. Matter of fact, you know, this is the entry level to the Nissan brand, entry level car. You know, it's subcompact as they call it. It doesn't feel like a subcompact to me. It feels like a full-size sedan to me. The only time you tell the difference, I'm shifting if you guys can hear that, but that's right here. I'm in Las Vegas, as you guys know. It feels much bigger than a subcompact. You know, it doesn't feel like a small little car, especially when you shift. People say, "Oh yeah, it's rubbery." Bullshit, man. This car is fun to drive as long as you're not picky and you know you're willing. You want a new car versus a used car. I try to avoid a used car. You know, I would rather get this than for the price of $12,000 or less. You probably get a used one, maybe an Infiniti, maybe even a Lexus, maybe with like 120,000 miles. There was one I saw, 100-something thousand miles, or maybe you know, other luxury car with 100,000 miles on it. You can do that. Some people would prefer to do that, used cars, but me, no. I like new cars. I like the smell of it. It doesn't smell like a fucking plastic. I mean, people say, "Oh, it smells like plastic. It's cheap." No, those are all bullshit and lies. This car has the same feeling as you was buying a fucking Lexus to me. To me, okay? To some people, it's like, no, it's not. It's, yeah, motherfucker, you just coughed up another $15,000, $20,000 off your fucking savings. So that's on you. But if you buying an expensive ass car, you know, fucking BMWs and Mercedes, and you only commuting to work 5-10 miles a day, what the fuck point? What's the point of that? You know, what's the point? If you have a lot of money and if you have 2-3 cars, I can understand that. But I only want one car. I don't want 2 car payments. I only want one car. You know, matter of fact, I can pay this off if I want to, but I don't want to. You know, I'm saving my money. Okay, I'm gonna save my money so I can actually buy the car that I wanted in a couple of years. But for now, this is perfect for me and my family. The kids love it. The back seat is huge. The trunk space is good. The transmission, the manual transmission, I suggest, highly recommend it for females. Like my wife, she likes the automatic, no issues there. That fucker is fast too, man. That automatic transmission. My wife has a black one. I have the blue one. What can I say, man? You know, all the negative comments about Nissan Versa, fuck those. Forget them. This is an inexpensive, reliable car that will probably last you for a long time if you take care of it. Even if you don't take care of it, it's a Japanese car. What are you gonna do? Rotate the tires and change oil? Like I said, the tire of this is this big, this wide. Changed it, it'll perform better. But if you leave it as it is, this car weighs under like 2,500 pounds. You know, the tire will never wear out as long as you can have it, maybe forever, as long as you rotate them. You know, this is a good, reliable car. You guys have seen my driving in a freeway. No jack in the box, and I highly recommend it for people that are looking for a reliable sedan. If you have kids like myself and you like to go to work, you go to work, and for kids and family, and man, you can drive this thing. And you know what? People complain about road noise. It's quite windy outside. I barely heard the damn noise, especially most of you guys turn on the radio. You're not gonna hear shit. And people said, "Oh man, you know, it feels." When I was going to work last night, it was really windy, and the people said that online on reviews said that oh, you know, it's hard to control on the road. Bullshit. It's not. Just like any other car, if it blows, it's gonna fucking rattle your car. It's gonna move around. This you know, and this is my perception or my self analogy, all right? This car can go 100 miles just like any other fucking car. Okay, say, oh yeah, this one goes 5 seconds. It goes 0-60 in 5 seconds. Who the fuck cares? Most of the time, those fucking expensive cars, sports cars anyways, they'll be at a stoplight and I'm like only 2-3 seconds behind them and I'll catch up to them. And then you know, those cars burn fucking gas like crazy because they're V8s. And I'm only like 2-3 seconds behind them. I'm like $30,000 less. You know what I mean? But if you have the money, I'm not knocking you for that. That's good. All right. Large.
Curly fries or regular?
Curly fries.
For the drink?
The drink is a Coke. And number 7, the bacon ultimate cheeseburger. That's what you want, right, Jane?
Yeah. Large.
Large, same, Coke, curly fries.
The same?
Large. I said large, curly fries.
Okay.
And then chicken, what is it, chicken strips?
Chicken strips.
Chicken strips with barbecue sauces, please.
Okay.
Diesel.
And get a couple tacos.
That diesel wants
Tacos?
strips too.
Yeah, the original ones.
Okay.
Diesel, do you want anything? Yeah, I got you that.
That's all. Is your order correct on the
Chicken
screen?
strips.
And another order of chicken strips with barbecue sauce.
Okay.
What else we got? Anything else? Any sweets?
The chocolate.
Hold on.
Chocolate cake.
Can I get a chocolate cake?
Okay.
And Diesel, do you want some dessert? Okay. That'll be all. That would be all. Thank you. Hello. Okay.
$30.95 at the second window. Thank you.
Fucking hate that, man. I don't know. I'm not knocking them for having a bad speaker. You know, I'm not like intentionally, you know, yelling or getting mad at the damn workers. It's the fucking speaker, maybe, or maybe it's the worker. I don't know. But you have to repeat yourself more than once. You know, like large. Oh, medium size. Large. I want a large fucking Coke and a large fucking fries.
You know what they called me, Dad?
I know, I understand. They have to do their job, whatever. So yeah, guys, Nissan Versa 2017. This is the blue metallic one. It's overall a good car, in my own opinion. Gas mileage is great. Back seats is roomy, huge. Matter of fact, here under 5'8", weigh about 170 pounds, and I fit in this, no problem. And this is as back as you can get it. So the seats all the way back as you can get, and I still have, you know, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 inches, you know, right there on my lap. So it's very comfortable. Y'all gotta try it. You don't have to take my word for it, but the back seat is really comfortable. My kids love the back seat, and it's not the best material in the world, but it's comfortable. It's livable, and it's not like I said, it's a cheap car. Don't expect too much for it, but to be quite honest, man, there's nothing in this car that you're gonna complain about, unless you're like one of those, you know, luxurious person. Then maybe you shouldn't be watching this video. So, but if you're an average person, you know, median income in the United States, you know, between 40 to 60,000, then this car is for you. I highly recommend it. It had child lock in here, the standard windows, and that doesn't bother me at all. So obviously the seats are, you can't split, you know, there's the headrest, it's not splittable. You can't adjust it up and down. It's just one, but they're comfortable. All of them are comfortable. They're plastic inside, you know, nothing is really leather, nothing is rubber. I mean, yeah, there are some rubbery, but the steering wheel is somewhat plastic rubber feeling, but it feels fine to me. It's perfect. This car is very comfortable. It's nice. It's peppy. It's for the enthusiasts out there that are looking for a car that they can actually push it to its limits, going to work, 10-20 miles, 109 horsepower. It feels much more than that. It's fun to drive, really fun to drive. You know, I don't want to have a fucking car that has 600 horsepower and I only drive 10 miles and I can't even do it. You know, I can't do that, you know, unless you have, like I said, multiple cars and you know, weekend car. This could be a weekend car, this could be a family car, this could be an enthusiast car. Like I said, the only thing that I would change on this is, and you guys watch out for that because I'll make a video of that, the only thing I would do in this car is change the tires. I would like to have 17-inch wheel alloys and wider tires, and this car will perform really better. better than ever. Right now it performs good, no problems. You know, it's just that I think cutting corners and stuff like that, I think this would perform a lot better. Wider tires, 17-inch wheels, 17, 18, somewhere around there, but I would go with 17 and drop it maybe. I would drop this car maybe about an inch or two, drop it. It'll look good, man. This car would look really good. It's inexpensive. I have a tint window coming up. I'm limo tinting this bad boy, and then the exhaust. You guys can see the exhaust. I want to change that. I want to change that exhaust, even though the car sounds good. You know, when you rev it, it sounds good. First, second, third gear, it sounds good. I'm gonna show you guys the engine of it. 109 horsepower. Not too much there, but it feels quite more than that. Hood release. And it should be easy. This is the first time I'm opening this, so this is not like. Okay, this I'm one-handing this thing. Okay, one-handed. Oh, nice. Very clean. Obviously for 2017. Okay, right there. I see that. 2017, 109 horsepower Nissan Versa. This is the base model, the really the bottom model. The only reason why I got the very bottom model is because it was standard. You know, you can't go up S plus because it's gonna be automatic. My wife has the one that's automatic, but clean, small engine. You know, easy to work on this thing. I don't see any problem with this car. You can probably turbocharge this sucker, but why would you, right? But hell, if you got the money for it, man, why not? I believe they call this car other name in other countries, like Almera or something like that. But I've seen a Nismo one of this version, man, and you can actually make this somewhat of a Nismo. You just got to buy the parts of it, you know. Like I looked at for this car, I looked at a carbon fiber lift in the front splits or whatever, a side skirts for this. I mean, I will make this car look somewhat more fun, you know. I got some plans to it. Let's see if it happens, you know. But I got some plans to it. I might drop it, like I said, 2 inches, put new tires, maybe side skirts, little exhaust, tint the windows. I'm really not gonna mess with the engine. There's no point of it. Then, you know, it ruined the whole purpose. It defeats the purpose of having gas mileage, right? Even intake, I don't want to do all that. Intake is probably gonna add 5 horsepower to it. I'm not gonna do it. Short ram, cold air, no. Short turbocharge, be glad to have it if it's free. No, I'm not gonna spend a couple thousand on it. Nope. I think what I'll do is I will completely leave the engine stock, only exterior. Sounds good? I think this car is meant for that. I think this car would look a lot better exteriorly because the engine inside, I mean, the way it feels, it's fine. It's fine. It's a perfect little car. Even though it feels much bigger than that, it feels much more than 109 horsepower. It's better. It performs a lot better than I thought. And I've never driven a Versa before until I said, you know, yesterday, day before yesterday, I've never driven one until I drove this. And I was like, why the fuck would you buy a Corolla? Why the hell did I buy a Corolla? Corolla is like $20,000. This is $12,000. You saved yourself over $10,000. You know, if you're into a market, and this is just my suggestion, my opinion, if you're in a market, because I've owned a lot of Toyotas, trust me, Camry, Toyota, Coma, Toyota Tundra, what else I can name. Anyways, there's my Tacoma right there. You guys can see that right there. This sports package, it was $36,000, and it's fine. It performs well. I was in Hawaii. I drove that shit in the sand, no problem at all. It's got the hood scoop there. You know, this is 4x4. Sport package. It's got all the bells and whistles, man. It's just touchscreen. You can see that right there. Tinted windows. You got the weather check side guards. Everything is on that thing. But I got bored with it, you know. And before that, I had a Nissan Frontier, which was lifted actually, 6-inch lift, wide, freaking big ass tires, fuel tires. I had those, man. I'm a car person. That's just the way I am. I am a car person, and I guess because I work a lot. All my life I've been working, and I'm sure you guys can relate to this. And really all I have is car, you know. It's something about engine, something about you drive a machine, right? And the bond between man and machine. But yeah, this is right here. Sorry, my wife is not home. She's driving a Corolla right now today. But this is the car that she bought right here. This is the Nissan Sentra. It's Nissan Versa 2017. This is hers. She don't really drive it yet because she still has the other one. So this one is hers. This one has the spoiler. This is automatic. Did I leave it open? Sorry, I locked. It's got all the bells and whistles also, you know, it's comfortable, it drives fine. Hers is black, mine is blue. It's perfect, man, it's fine. Trust me, if you're in the market, all right, this is my, if you're in the market of getting a Honda Civic, Honda Accord, Toyota Camry, Toyota Corolla, you ought to check out Nissan Versa. It'll save you 10,000, tons of money, and have the same feeling, and you know, and especially if you're just looking for a point A, point B car, Versas is the way to go. Trust me, you know, and put that $10,000 aside. You know, if you want a better, I can't see, the thing is, I can't say that the Corolla and Camry is better than this, and I can't say that the Honda Civic and Honda Accord is better than this, because I've had those before. You know, they drive fine. Like I told you earlier, and I don't know if I mentioned it, this is quite responsive, better than a Corolla. The engine is much responsive in both CVT. You know, this one right here is CVT, my Corolla is CVT, and I compared it. I drove it the other day and I said, nah, man, the Versa is much more responsive. You know, and the gas mileage on this is ridiculously awesome. So, well, let me know what you guys think. Like I said, I got a few plans for this car, but we'll see what happens. I'm kind of busy, but like I said, the first thing I have scheduled is the tint. I'm tinting the whole thing. This obviously the back is limo tint, so does that car. It's gonna be limo tint the back, and the front is gonna be the darkest I could possibly get without getting a ticket. I think you can't have a limo tint in the front here in Nevada. But other than that, guys, it's a perfect little car, and you know, fun to drive for the kids, for family, and going to work, man. It's just, you could push all the 109 horsepower and not worry about it, you know. When I looked at it, there was a used Lexus, a used BMW, a used Mercedes. Nah, man, I've already been there, done that. No, I'm not doing a used one. If I'm gonna buy a car, I want a brand new car. I'm the only one that's driven it. You know, so this is a perfect little car, man. Trust me, you like it. Just don't be picky about fucking power and this and that and all touchscreen. No, you don't need those. You go to fucking 10 miles to work, man. Why do you need all that stuff for? Save all your money, and then when you have the money, then like me, I'm gonna put all my money in the savings. You know, because I was getting ready to fucking purchase one. You know, put you know, 20%, 30% down on a fucking $80,000 car. I said no, I'll save that money, and then I'll buy the one that I want really when I'm ready and when I have time to do it. Because right now I'm fucking working 5-6 days a week. You know, there's no time for that. But I can have fun with that Versa going to work. Oh yes, trust me, it's a lot of fun, man. People talk about it and shit talk about Versa. You know, badmouth Versa, always all become bullshit, man. Bullshit. Those are all bullshit. It's a fun car to drive. Rubbery, throttle. No, it's not fucking rubbery stick shift. It's fun. It's fine. It's fun to drive. It's got 109 horsepower. It's not 500 horsepower. You can only fucking go so much anyways. What are you gonna have a fucking M5 to go to work for? If you can afford it, I'm not knocking you for that. You can do it. Go do it. Have it your way. But if you don't have the money for it, and you know, to have a fucking V8 going to work, this one, man, I don't know what else to say, but I have nothing but great things to say about it. Just don't expect too much of it, you know. Expect the car to last you a while, reliable car, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you know, save you a bunch of money. You know what I mean? This one you could easily get $130 car payment versus a fucking $800 car payment, man. It's good. Well, that's my little review of the Versa. Hope you didn't bore you guys. Let me know if you guys have any comments, questions, concerns. Jot those down in the comment section. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.